My name is Jessica Gillingham and I'm the founder and CEO of Abode Worldwide. We're a very specialist public relations agency focused on partnering with tech companies and enterprise operators in the short-term rental sector, the hospitality hotel sector, and then also the multifamily and living sectors. So this, I think, is probably my third scale. I remember going to the first one that was in Barcelona, or maybe not the first one, but certainly one 3 years ago in Barcelona. And Damien, John Paolo and their team are incredible. They're a really fantastic team. They always put on a very good event. So I wanted to come because I knew it would be good, and I knew that it would have lots of really good conversations happening and content happening. Plus, we have a number of clients that exhibit here and attend here, so I came to see them as well. So I was very lucky to moderate a leadership panel yesterday, and on that panel we had 2 shorties winners, and we also had a shorty shortlister as well. And we talked about leadership styles and culture, how to manage a team, how to deal with challenges. And all of these leaders were women. And it was a very interesting conversation that we had that kind of got to the depths of how they have been successful in their entrepreneurial journeys and how they really see success in their business. So that was a very interesting conversation. And then I've just moderated a panel that was around regulation. So we had 4 associations. We had Marco from Italy, we had Fiona from Scotland, we had Andy from the STAA in the UK, and we had Victoria from the EHHA. And it was a conversation really talking about how property managers can really help themselves by helping the associations to advocate, and also the impact of the differences between, the conversations about over-tourism and housing, and how the narrative is all wrong, and how the associations are really trying to get that narrative corrected, because this industry really brings an awful lot to the communities that it operates in, not just in terms of bringing jobs and finance and all of that, but also experiences for travellers as well. So we work, yes, predominantly with tech people, and most of the leaders that we work with are men, running. There are, some notable female leaders in the tech space. But for me, it's really about leadership and those skills that sometimes are called soft skills that often female leaders bring, which is collaboration and, a big focus on communication and on culture, tend to be more associated with female leadership, but actually they're just more soft skills rather than just focusing on scale or on those sides. Of course, the bottom line is always important and it is always about, having a business that's profitable, but it doesn't mean you can't have one that's full of purpose. And I have run this company, that Abode Worldwide, for 8 years now, and it's actually the 3rd business that I've started and run. And I feel, it's just really interesting to have conversations with other business leaders about how they deal with the challenges of remote teams, culture, client satisfaction, working in a world that is a globalized world as well. There's all sorts of challenges as leaders. And also your own personal style of leadership as well. It's stuff that really is important to me, and I find it very interesting to hear and talk to other leaders about how they navigate the world of business. So we work across the short-term rental, the hotel, and also the multifamily and the living. And the common denominator is that it is all about hospitality. Even if it's a multifamily, you're providing a good experience for your residents rather than guests. You're also providing an outcome, a positive outcome for the asset owner in all of those. So whether it's the brand for a hotel, or it's the owner of a typical vacation rental property, or it is a multifamily asset owner that might be a fund. So really there's a lot of commonalities. A lot of the challenges are similar as well. It's how do you communicate with your resident? How do you communicate with your guest, as we would say in the short-term rental? How do you get them into your buildings in the first place? How do you manage your buildings? How do you manage access, security, all of the kind of the energy supply, all of those things? They're really similar across the board of all those buildings that have people in them. The thing that I'm always very surprised about is that there's not more cross-fertilization with the tech companies in all the different verticals, because yes, of course there are differences, but there are a lot of similarities, and particularly in the short-term rental space, we've got a lot of very good tech, innovative tech, and those other markets are much bigger than the short-term rental ones. So it always surprises me that we don't see more, but I guess it's just challenging to get into a new market.